10 and 11, these two names I had to kind of tie together. It's still two different spirits, but these two spirits deal with the spirit of fortune and luck. Verse 10, of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Sadi, and the tribe of Joseph, namely the tribe of Manasseh, Gadai, the son of Susi. So these two spirits right here, you get a two for right here. You get a 2 for 1. You buy one, you get the second for free. So these two spirits is dealing with the spirit of fortune and luck. So in other words, these two spirits are a little bit heavier here, because what you're dealing with is not only a spirit, but you're dealing with people that's worshiping other type of gods. So you're dealing with the god of fortune. You're dealing with people that's dealing with the god of luck. And when you're dealing with this, it's a fortune deity. A fortune deity is a deity associated with fortune, luck, and wealth, as in mythology. There are several of these gods all over the world. When I went to start to dig into this and look it up, there were so many that I couldn't even really just target one I wanted to deal with. But a person with this spirit believes in forces that causes things, especially good things, to happen to you by chance. In other words, these are the people that's always talking about, ooh, I was so lucky. Ooh, I'm so fortunate that this happened to me. These are the people that's always gambling on what's going to happen in their lives. In other words, everything that happens in their lives happens by chance, and they don't realize that the Father is not a God of luck. The Father is not a God of fortune. The Father that we believe in, when he say what it is, that's what it is. We're not wondering if it's going to happen. We're not saying is there a chance it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So this spirit right here, again, deals with fortune and luck. Let's move on. Verse 12, of the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali. And Amiel is a Hebrew word that means the people of God. Oh, man. Here we go. The people of God. In other words, this is that religious and that traditional spirit. And please understand me when I say that religious and that traditional spirit. I'm talking about those people of God, come on here, that can't make a move without it being some type of religious act or some traditional act. There's a quote that I learned a long time ago, is that tradition is a group effort to keep the unexpected from happening. So what happens is that these type of people, they're so wrapped up in their traditions, is that they can already predict how that day is going to go, is because their traditions already dictated to them how that day is going to go. In other words, these are the spirits. These spirits are similar to the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and the scribes. This is that pharisaical spirit. Pharisaical? That was make up a word there. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna stick with that. This is that pharisaical, that Sadducee and that scribe spirit. And Yeshua, we know that he spoke about these different type of spirits. That religious and that traditional spirit, he spoke about it in Mark 7, chapter 7 through 9, where he said, how being in vain do they worship me, teaching for the doctrines, the commandments of men, for laying aside the commandments of Yahweh, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. Now watch this in verse 9. And he said unto him, full well ye reject the commandment of Yahweh, that ye keep your own tradition. So that's what I was explaining to you, that Folks are so religious, people are so tied into their traditions that they reject the commandments of Yahweh. They reject the statutes of Yahweh. They reject the laws and the rules of Yahweh. That's heavy right there. So this is that religious and that traditional spirit that we got to watch out for. So there was a 2-4 there. So I gave you 1, the spirit of destruction; 2, the spirit of condemnation; 3, that kinfolk, that negative kinfolk spirit; 4, that escapist spirit; 5 and 6 I gave you right there. That spirit of fortune and luck. And this here was 7, that religious and that traditional spirit. Is that all right? All right, let's move down. You ready for another twofer? Yeah, I'm giving out deals today. Well, I'm telling you, the scripture's giving out deals today. Another 2 for 1. So these next 2 names in 13 and 14 of the tribe of Asher, Sethura, that's 1, the son of Michael. 14, in the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, the son of Vespi, that's 2, Nabi. These 2 names represent that secretive spirit and that hidden one. Oh, it's getting even heavier right here. That secretive spirit is that another twofer. This secretive spirit and the hidden ones always want to know your business and never tell theirs. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. That's heavy right there. How many of us have dealt with individuals like that in their lives? They always want to know your business, but never tell theirs. But there's a difference between you blabbing your stuff and them prying. This spirit likes to ask probing questions, prying questions, not only to know your business, but to spread your business. Woo, that's heavy right there. How many people have dealt with folks like that? They're prying and trying to get information out of you. You have to really watch out for these people. They're prying, trying to get information out of you. And when they get this information out of you, they quickly run and go tell somebody else your information or tell somebody else your business. These are the ones that you really got to watch out for. And not only are they secretive, these also connect to what's called the hidden ones. In other words, the hidden ones deal with those secret societies. Whoa. See, when we're dealing with secret societies, what we have to understand and realize is that when you're dealing with secret societies, these people have aligned themselves with other gods. Some knowingly have aligned themselves with other gods, and some unknowingly are not aligned with other gods. What am I talking about when I'm talking about secret societies? If you're part of a group, a organization, a club, a clique, or whatever that have secret practices that the average person on the outside shouldn't know about, you're part of a secret society. Point blank, period. So it don't matter what you connected to and what this organization is. If you can't tell me everything about that organization without holding something back from telling me about it, you're part of a secret society. And that means that you're aligning yourself with something that is hidden, the hidden ones. When we think about the hidden ones, we think about demonic spirits. We think about the devil. Come on here, we're thinking about other deities and other gods. That's something for you to really ponder and think about. What is it that you connected to that's not connected to Yahweh when you really start to break that thing down? All right. That was heavy. So that was your twofer right there. That secretive spirit, want to know your stuff, but never want to tell theirs. And that hidden one. All right, so let's move on to last but not least, the 10th one. All right. So the 10th one, verse 15, of the tribe of Gad, Guel, the son of Machi. And Guel is a Hebrew word which figuratively means majestic. In other words, this is that facade spirit. This is that last one that we're dealing with. That facade spirit. And a facade is like a front of a building, or a kind of front people are putting up emotionally by definition. So it's a majestic and a facade spirit. And when you're looking at the definition of majestic, figuratively, as it said, they're figuratively majestic, having or showing impressive beauty or the state or quality of being worthy of honor. In other words, these are the individuals that's putting on the facade. The outside of that building look good, but on the inside, they all jacked up. They look good on the outside, but upon close inspection, you start to see imperfections. Come on here. The scripture said to us, in other words, they're having the form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. So how many people have dealt with this type of spirit? How many people have this type of spirit, the spirit of facade? So you putting on this front, there it is right there. In other words, these are the people that's fronting. How many of us are fronting, trying to floss and appear that we're something that we're actually not? So these are the 10 spirits, come on here, that was sent over with the 12. So these are the spirits that were sent over that we have to look out for and that we have to deal with. So as I said, I skipped over 2. So we're going to go back up to verse 6 of the tribe of Judah, Caleb. Here we go. So we dealt with the 10 negative spirits. Now let's deal with these 2 right here. Caleb, the son of Yefuneh, right? So when we look up Caleb, we find out that it's a Hebrew word or a Hebrew name that means to attack or a dog. Here we go. We're about to get into it. So we dealt with these 10 negative spirits. Come on here. As we talked about when Yahweh said, send men over there. But what happened was Yahweh didn't make a mistake when he sent them 10. Like I said, these spirits are going to be around us all the time. But Yahweh knew that there was 2 that he was going to send over there because the other 10 were going to be there just for an example. So he said, send Caleb. When he sent Caleb over here, come on here, he sent that dog. And it makes me want to ask the question, where my dogs at? Roo, where my dogs at? Right? So when you think about dogs, come on here, you saying to yourself, well, I ain't no dog. I don't want to be no dog. Yeah, you want to be a dog. Because when we're talking about dogs, what we're talking about is like Gideon's army. Oh, man, come on here. Who remembers about Gideon's army? Yahweh said that there was too many people with them, and he said all of those that were fearful to turn back. And what happened was 22,000 turned back. But Yahweh broke that thing down again, and he said it's still too many people with you. So what he said was that I want you to separate the people, those that, according to the scriptures, the one that lappeth the water with their tongue as a dog lappeth, and brings the water to himself with his hand, separate those. And the ones that bow down on both knees to drink water, separate them. And what we find out from the scripture is he took the ones that bowed down on that one knee and they brought the water to their mouth. They lapped like a dog. As you see, I'm looking at you in the camera right now. When a dog drinks water, he's watching everything that's around him while he getting his water into his body. Come on here. So Yahweh said, I need them right here. Come on here. That watch as well as pray. Come on here. A lot of us, a lot of times when we're praying, we're right here in the congregation, eyes closed so tight. I've been in churches where everybody in there with their eyes closed, but we have to be able to watch and pray. Come on here, that dog, when he's getting his water in, come on here, he's getting his food in, he's watching. So when it broke down that 10,000, come on here, it broke it down to the 300, Gideon's army. I'm talking about the real 300. Come on here. I ain't talking about the Spartans. Come on here. I'm talking about the real soldiers that Yahweh sent. When he sent them, he sent men. Come on here. 300 men that's breaking into the enemy's camp. Is that all right? So this is what we want to be. Come on here. We want to be that dog. Come on here. We want to be that one that Yahweh sent over that attacks. Come on here when we need to. Is that all right? All right. Let's move on down to verse 8, to our second individual that he sent. Now, here in verse 8 of the tribe of Ephraim, Oshea, the son of Nun, his name was changed later. But Oshea right here, by definition, in the Hebrew, by definition, means deliverer. So in other words, in verse 8, deliverer here, when his name was Oshea, it denotes the desire for salvation. But when we drop down, let's continue on forward. Verse 16, let's drop down to 16. So we got all 12 people that sent over, but in verse 16, watch this. A name was changed here, and it was subtle, but it was necessary. These are the names of the men which Moshe sent to spy out the land. And Moshe called Oshea, the son of Nun, Yehoshua. See, so now his name was changed right here. So now that his name was changed from the desire of salvation, what Yehoshua, this name includes the promise of salvation. So what happened here is that Yahweh sent over somebody that not only gave us the desire, it gave us the promise. In other words, you can desire something all day, but when it's promised to you, that's something different. Goodness gracious. Think about that. When it's promised to you, for example, you can desire a piece of cake all day, but when I promise you that piece of cake, come on here, you know that it's coming to you. So Yehoshua was actually a representative or a likeness of Yeshua, Jesus Christ. Come on here. So in other words, he was salvation being sent over into the land. Come on here. That land, come on here. Death was over in that land and destruction was over in that land. So he was sent over into this land to not only kill death, but to create a paradise for the people. The same way that Yeshua, when he came along, is that he created a heaven on earth by killing death for us. Are you following me? So his name changed. There was a going from desire to the promise. So these are the 12 that were sent over into the land. Is that all right? All right, let's move on. All right, so let's move on to Numbers 13, 26 through 31. All right, verse 26. And they went and came to Moshe and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran and Kadesh, and brought word unto them and unto all the congregation, and shewed them the fruit of the land. And they told him, verse 27, and said, we came into the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it flowed with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. So they went over into the land and they came back with the fruit of it, right? Now, here we go.